Hi guys, we are getting closer to Easter and that means that all the carrot recipes are coming and I'm really excited for them. Today I have a really yummy recipe for you for carrot cheesecake bars. Sounds delicious? Let's get started! Before you start making your batter, you want to grate the carrots. I'm using this fine grate, but you could also use the bigger one if you like bigger pieces of carrots in your carrot cakes. I have my eggs and sugar here, and now we are just going to beat them together for about 5 to 10 minutes or 15 minutes, depends on how cold your eggs are, until they are nice and fluffy. So once you whisk the eggs with the sugar, and when you draw something on top, the figure stays for a little. That's when it's ready and you can start adding in the melted and cooled butter, and you want to whisk it in as well. And here we just want to whisk shortly. And now we can start adding in the dry ingredients. So I've mixed everything and I'm gonna sieve it in now. What you want to do is to do this in batches. So I'm adding first about a third. And then with a spatula, you just want to carefully start folding it in. And then when you notice it's almost combined, you can continue adding a second half, or a second part of the dry ingredients, and then continue folding in. And again, you see it's almost mixed in. Adding in the rest of my dry ingredients and continuing to fold them in again until almost combined, because we still have other things to add in. So adding in the next batch always when it's almost combined means that you don't overmix. So almost combined, and I'm gonna add in half of my applesauce. And then gonna add the rest of it. And then also giving that a short mix. So make sure to fold through the bottom, because that's where the heavy ingredients, like the wet ingredients, usually go to. So fold through the bottom. And again, once almost mixed in, I'm adding in the almond meal. So giving it a good mix. And then once everything is nice and smooth, you want to add in the grated carrot. And you know what to do? We also want to fold in the carrot. And because this is our final mix, you want to make sure everything is really well combined. And then at the end, your batter should look like this, nice and smooth, and everything should be well combined. Then for my cheesecake topping, I have here the cream cheese with 1 egg, vanilla, 1 tablespoon of flour, and 1 tablespoon of sugar. And now I'm just gonna give it a good mix until everything is combined. And then you need your baking tin. I'm not using any butter to butter the form because I'm using a silicone mat. So transferring the batter into the form first. And then make sure you even it out. Then you want to grab your cheesecake topping and add dollops on top of the batter. And then you want to grab a knife and just kind of swirl through the cheesecake topping. And then the last thing we want to do before baking is to add a little bit of pecan nuts on top. If you don't like pecan nuts, you don't need to add these. If you want to add walnuts instead, you can also use walnuts. So just adding a little bit here and there to add some crunch. And then you want to bake it in the oven according to the recipe, and as always you can find the recipe down below in the description box. So I think this recipe is pretty easy to put together. The only thing that takes a little bit of time is whisking the eggs with the sugar at the beginning, but then after that it's just adding in the rest of the ingredients, and that is fairly quick to make. I personally love this kind of sheet cakes because you do the prep, it's really easy and fast, and then you have a big cake that you can share with your family and friends, instead of making a cake that you stack and then you decorate and fill, and it takes hours and hours, whereas this one just takes you maybe 30 minutes to put together. So it's a carrot cake with this kind of bits of cheesecake and nuts, and if you do like carrot cake, then I'm sure you're gonna like this one as well. In the recipe I'm using pecan nuts, but if you don't like pecan nuts or you are allergic to nuts, you can leave the nuts out. You can substitute the pecan nuts to walnuts if you prefer using those, or you can add some caramel chunks on top if you like. So you can adjust it a little bit depending on what you would like to use. If you enjoyed this recipe and if you like this video, then don't forget that thumbs up for support. And also, if you're new to my channel, then you can subscribe right now, and if you tap the bell, you won't miss any of the new recipes. I have a lot of delicious kind of spring recipes coming in the next couple of months, as well as a lot of Easter recipes. Thank you for watching my video. Bye bye until next time.